Hello, and welcome to the Fight with Depression podcast, the podcast for people who want to improve their mental health. My name is Christopher Boussard, and once again, I have Molly on the show.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So I know that there's going to be people listening to this after Christmas.
Yeah.
So for us, we've got a week left as we're recording this, and feel like it was a good time to this episode. We're going to be talking about the holiday blues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not just the pre-holiday, but also like post-holiday. Like we talk about the funk, getting in the funk, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna throw you under the bus a little bit. Molly's been having a little bit of holiday blues lately.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
I don't know that it's necessarily because of the holidays. I think it's just like a culmination of a lot of different things going on in life, and it just seemed to happen now.
Well, and it's funny. It happens to be at the end of the year too. So you have all of the end of the year stress along with rushing to get ready for Christmas or just everything. And we just finished up Thanksgiving, and so it's just a lot of stress. And so that's kind of what we're going to be talking about. I guess we could start with the pre-holiday funk, the pre-holiday blues. I think a lot of it is the rush. There's a lot of pressure on us to get all of our shopping done. Make sure you get the Christmas ornaments up, or whatever it is. And we were talking about it the other day. You mentioned that you were listening to the radio and listening to just Christmas songs, and they keep coming up with these reminders. Oh, remember, there's only
two more weekends to shop until Christmas.
There's only 8 shopping days left of Christmas, or and it keeps coming up, which adds to your stress.
Well, we listen. I mean, I love listening to Christmas music in the car. And unfortunately, the one radio station in our area that plays Christmas music 24/7 throughout the season is constantly reminding how little time is left until it's Christmas, how much shopping, like you need to do and this and that. And it definitely gave me a bit of anxiety the other day when I was just driving around enjoying Christmas music, and all of a sudden I felt this stress and this pressure.
Well, and it comes on, and I think that's a big part of it, where we start getting so hectic, but we don't really realize that some of those little nitpicky things are maybe not, they're not going to cause the stress, but they definitely fuel it.
Well, they add to it.
Yeah.
I think that it's not just, getting everything done. There's also, I feel, an expectation that, I put on myself during the holidays to, there's certain things that you need to do and there's certain things you want to do. And that comes along with the timeline because, okay, you only have so many weeks from Thanksgiving until Christmas. But I enjoy, so most every year, Christopher and the kids and I go up to the mountains and we cut our Christmas tree down. And
it's okay. It's wildland mitigation.
It is. And it's really inexpensive, and it's a great, the kids love it. We love it. But we cut our Christmas tree down, and I think the season typically opens right after Thanksgiving. And I feel a lot of stress and pressure if I don't get that, if we don't get up there and get the tree cut within that first week after Thanksgiving. And there's no timeline. Think back when Christopher and I were newlyweds and before we had kids. And I think even after having Taylor, our oldest, sorry, we didn't get a Christmas tree until mid-month, but now it's just kind of pressure, and that's on me, you know. And I don't know why I do that, but there's all
Well,
these little expectations that you have, or that you feel that, you know, you compare yourself to other people. Oh, our neighbors got their Christmas decorations up, we need to hurry up and get ours up. Oh, our this and that, these people are done Christmas shopping, we haven't even started. And it really kind of takes the joy out of the season.
well, and it's that, and for me, it's the increase in traffic. Um, we've already tried not to go with our schedules the way they are. We're fortunate that we don't have to go places on weekends necessarily.
Yeah.
So we've tried to avoid places on weekends, but during the last you know during the month of December, you go anywhere and there's so much traffic. Even in we're not in a big city, but it's not small either. Um, but there's more traffic. You go anywhere and there's more people shopping, and it's one thing on top of the other, and it just keeps adding and adding. And so here in the United States, we're just approaching winter. Winter comes right before Christmas, and second to the United States, the next most listeners that we have are in Australia, which is that's super cool, I think. But for them, they're not approaching winter; they're approaching summer.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of curious. Maybe if you're listening in Australia, or I think we've got listeners in Argentina. We've got so all across the southern hemisphere. If you're listening, you can let us know. Oh yeah, it's Christmas is great here because it's summertime and this and that. But anyway, that was a rabbit hole that I went down.
A little bit.
But we're also in this time where everybody's inside. We're not spending as much time outside, so we're not getting that vitamin D from our sun exposure. So I don't know, I'm not pushing vitamins or anything, supplements on people, but maybe an extra dose of vitamin D is needed.
Well, and that's funny that you say that, because I'm kind of bummed out that here we are. Okay, I saw the most ridiculous thing yesterday. We live in Colorado. It is December, and our neighbor was hanging Christmas lights in shorts and a tank top. And I'm going, this is wrong. I mean, it's so warm right now. And for the past couple of days, we have been able to go out and take walks. We got hot taking a walk yesterday. And I know it's good for us to get out, but in all honesty, it's Christmas and I just want to get cozy and bundle up, and I want to have it snow. And that kind of, it affects me, and it shouldn't. And we traveled a little bit for Thanksgiving, and where we were, it was really warm and there were palm trees. And then there's pictures of Santa and places getting their Christmas decorations. And I told Christopher, I was like, I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around this right now. And it kind of feels the same way here because it's just too warm. And I don't know, I think that kind of bums me out personally.
So you're saying that extra dose of vitamin D from the sun is not necessarily a good thing. You want the snow.
Not only in December. As soon as January comes, bring on the sunshine. I'm ready to go.
Now you're getting into the post-holiday blues, and we're still at the pre-holiday.
Yet. Okay.
Yeah. So I personally have been, if you've been listening for a while, or if you've heard the episode on treatments for depression, I talk about several treatments, I guess, or not treatments, several tips on things to do, breathing techniques and the mindfulness. Man, my goodness. So mindfulness stuff, and I've actually been doing that a lot lately because I've noticed that as I'm stressing about this and that, I find that my breathing starts getting really shallow. And since I started kind of doing that more, the breathing techniques, and have gone over that stuff, I've been more aware of the way that I'm breathing and how shallow I'm breathing. And what happens when you aren't, so carbon dioxide is your body's regulator for breathing. It's not oxygen. It's not the need for oxygen. It's the carbon dioxide. And so when you start building up extra carbon dioxide, your body gets, thrown off, your pH gets thrown off, and it's really not good for you. I'm just going to leave it, I guess, at that. But I've noticed that, I start getting more tense, and your stomach starts getting upset, or whatever it is. And a lot of that is, can be helped by those breathing techniques. And so I've been trying to focus on those, and I think it has helped. I've stopped, when things are getting stressful, I've stopped and I've gone, my breathing is super shallow. And I've focused on that, and then it allows me to kind of calm down a little bit, and start focusing on, okay, this is what I'm doing right now. Plus, we've talked about how your mind kind of starts wandering toward things that are not real. You start kind of stressing out about things that are, that might be, or whether it's like, okay, well, I've got to get my Christmas decorations up. I don't want to forget. I don't want people, whatever it is. I don't want people thinking that I'm being lazy, or I don't know, whatever it is. Whatever these things that we build up in our heads, or I've got to beat the neighbors. And we start making even just the smallest thing into this dumb, elaborate buildup in our mind about something that's not even true. So when you start focusing on, okay, that's not reality. That is not what's happening right now. I can focus on right now, my breathing sucks, and I need to focus on my breathing. Or right now, my kids are playing a game, and I'm just going to pay attention to them having fun on their winter break.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have anything to say on that, or.
No, I think I'm good.
Oh,
thank you.
Okay.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was rambling or.
A little bit, but that's okay.
Oh, golly. And so kind of went on a tangent there, but one of the other things that we start worrying about is the finances, right?
Yeah.
Where we start going, okay, well, like we talked about, it's the end of the year. We've already spent more this year than, our budget has allowed for. And now December's a big hit in your pocketbook.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing? Pocketbook?
Maybe. Your purse, your wallet, your bank account. Let's say that. I heard a statistic the other day, and I'm not quoting this because I'm sure it's incorrect, but it was close to something saying like 68% of people are still carrying credit card debt from last Christmas, from their purchases last Christmas, and they're just continuing to buy. And hearing that right there, like, caused me stress and anxiety for sure. Because we do, once again, you have that expectation, and sometimes trying to do everything right and do, make the perfect Christmas or whatever it is, can be financially damaging. And we just kind of go through and be like, it's okay, it's Christmas, whatever. And then come January, we're set up for problems and issues. One thing that Christopher and I, many years ago, started doing, well, a couple things that we started doing. We kind of are over, not that gifts are bad, right? And I don't want people to say that because everybody loves getting gifts, but it's the pressure and the expectation of, oh, this person gave me a gift, now I have to go get them a gift. Or this kid has more presents than this kid, we need to go buy more gifts so that kid, has enough, if they're counting or whatever it is. So we toned Christmas way, way down. For like our family and our friends, we have a nice big Christmas party every year, and that's kind of our way of showing our love and appreciation to our family and friends, is by spending time with them and having some good food and some good drinks and just social time, inviting people into our home. And then with our own family, we try to focus more on doing things together rather than the physical gifts. And don't get me wrong, our kids still get things. We don't have an empty Christmas tree or anything like that, but it's much more focused in on books and puzzles or games, things like that will stimulate their mind, bring us together as a family, not just a bunch of things because we just need to buy it because we have to buy it. So that has definitely, I think, since we started doing that, helped in the Christmas stress and the rush. This year I made an executive decision, which thankfully Christopher was behind me 100%, and I cut out Christmas cards. Now, I love doing Christmas cards. This year it just wasn't happening, and we didn't have any good pictures to put in, and I felt the pressure and the stress, and I decided, you know what, instead of worrying about it and going, oh my gosh, if I don't get these cards ordered and out by this time, then people aren't going to get them. I said, we're going to take a year off because that's one thing I just can't handle. And
It's just been that kind of year this year.
It has been. And you know what? It's okay, because I know that there's a lot of people out there who aren't doing cards, and that's fine. And
if you're offended that you didn't receive a Christmas card from us,
nobody did.
Well, no, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, or not from us, but let's just say that maybe you're in our same boat where you decided to give Christmas cards, or decided not to give Christmas cards out this year, and you've got people who are angry. Then maybe that situation, that relationship, needs to be reevaluated, because people should not be upset that they
Absolutely.
did not.
Yeah. And that's part of it too, what you were talking about earlier. Those things that you build up and that you make up in your mind as the Christmas cards start rolling in from family and friends. I went to get the mail, and we had a couple in there today. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, do I need to tell these people, hey, by the way, we're not sending Christmas cards? Yeah. Or are they going to think, well, why did they not send us a card this year? But that's just me and my brain being crazy.
And that's another stress that you start, oh, I hope they're not going to be mad at me. And then you go, next time you interact with them, and maybe you anticipate that they're going to be maybe a little upset or something. So they say something and you take it out of context, and you start going down that, you start snowballing, you start rolling down that hill. But then you go, okay, that's not reality. Yeah. Hey, by the way, if you were wondering, if you noticed that you didn't get a Christmas card from us, it's because we didn't send them out. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. Didn't even think too much about it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now you're, yeah.
I did have one person ask when we would be sending our cards out. Yeah. Because their daughter loves our Christmas cards for some reason every year. And I think it's super, super sweet. And I let her know that we wouldn't be sending one, so she can just wait until next year.
Yeah, maybe I'll send her a picture or something.
Yeah.
Well, and so anyway, on that note, if there's something, I think, this is my opinion, if there's something like that that is stressful, we send Christmas cards every year, or we send a letter every year, I have to do it. I think you need to be okay going, you know what? I'm not going to do it this year.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Anyway, so another thing that we were talking about, Molly was mentioning that we've kind of gotten away from, I wouldn't say physical gifts, from just stuff gifts.
Stuff for the sake of getting stuff is not what we're doing.
So we got in a heated discussion, an argument a couple years ago. We were talking about, I don't even think it was around Christmas. I think it was just like in the middle of the year or something.
About, so I
know. That's why I'm going. But I started talking about how I don't want people just getting me things just to get me things. And I feel that stress. Maybe it was around Christmas, because I was like, I get that stressed out that I have to get something, but I don't know what to get.
Yeah.
And it's that like, oh, well, I need to just get something. And so I said, well, why is it that we can't, if there's something that you want throughout the year, instead of hinting like, oh, I want this, oh, this would be a nice Christmas present. Like, yeah, I'm supposed to remember that 4 months from now. Like, okay, why don't we just get it? Why don't you just get that? And, that's something that you want. Why wait? And then it also got onto that topic of like, okay, well, wait, why don't we just purchase things for people throughout the year for Christmas instead of having everything hit in December? So I don't know. We've talked about that. I think we've done that a couple times where it's like, okay, we're on vacation or something, and it's, oh, we see this thing. Hey, this person would like this for Christmas. Let's get it for them, as long as we can remember 6 months from now to pull it out of the closet. But I think that helps the financial. And if you're like me and you get stressed out by all of the people at the stores, like, oh, guess what? It's November and my Christmas shopping's done. I don't have to deal with all the...
Well, we know a few people who are very good at purchasing throughout the year, and then they're done by Thanksgiving. So, it's a great way to do things for sure. But I think, Christopher and I stopped buying each other gifts many years ago because we would rather do things and go places and this and that. But we still do stockings. So once again, it's not like sitting here and our stockings are flat on Christmas morning. We do have some fun, but it's thought out. It's not just I'm gonna grab a bunch of garbage to put in your stocking. Not literal garbage, but just like, oh, this is at the checkout line at the grocery store. We really try to think things through and do something that's meaningful and thoughtful, or something that each other will really like. But we keep it small because it's just so much less stressful doing it that way. It really is.
And you're not the only person being stressed before the holiday season.
Everybody is.
Everybody gets stressed. So, anyway, like I said, I have been just trying to focus on the present, what I'm doing right now, making sure I'm breathing, and everything like that. So maybe we could do one of those cool transitions. Now we're talking post-holiday blues. I don't know.
Yeah.
We need cool transitions.
We do.
I know. Anyway.
We're works in progress,
Yeah.
That's okay. The post-holiday is definitely, so for me, I get sad having to take down the Christmas decorations most of the time. Sometimes I'm ready, but I enjoy it and the kids enjoy it, and it's so exciting decorating the house for Christmas, and we love it. And then it's kind of a bummer having to undecorate, if you will, and put everything away, because once again, where we live in Colorado, some of our snowiest months are like February and March. So I welcome the snow in December, which we typically don't see a lot of, because you feel festive and in the Christmas spirit. But then you kind of get bummed out when there's no decorations up. It's cold, it's miserable out, and you're just ready for summer to hit. So, and then your wallet or your bank account could be hurting too because of all the frivolities during Christmas.
Yeah. See, for me, I would say I'm a lot different than
Yes.
that. Those are not my.
We are a lot different.
Okay.
In our thinkings.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that my stress or my post-holiday blues doesn't come from undecorating or the stresses. It's not the stresses. The stresses are pre-holiday, pre-Christmas. The blues are post-holiday, post-Christmas. And for me, even as a kid, I remember just that there was that buildup, that just that buildup of coming to Christmas, and a lot of things, like all of our families getting together, or friends, or whatever it is. There was just a lot of buildup, and I think for me, it's like everything else, where when dealing with anxiety, when I have a lot of anxiety that just builds up and builds up and builds up, and then whatever that moment is that takes that anxiety away, or it's done or whatever, afterwards, you just get exhausted. You're just tired. And for me, when I was a kid, and it even has moved into now, where there's that build up to Christmas, where you've got all these anxieties, all these stresses, all of the anticipation, everything like that. Christmas comes, and then it's just like a now what kind of thing.
It's over.
It's over. Well, I don't know how to describe it. It's like an emptiness.
Yeah.
It's like an emptiness in your being. I don't know. That's just, I guess that's the only way I can describe it.
I think.
And so I think along those lines, whether you're younger or older or anything like that, that's I think a good time for reflection on being thankful.
Yeah. Or being grateful.
Being grateful. Because I did an episode on thankfulness, right? Like, just being thankful for, thank you that I have a home to live in. Thank you that I was able to spend Christmas with my family, or, thank you that I was, whatever it is. I think post Christmas, post holidays, post New Year's, whatever, that's a time to kind of go, look back and be thankful for everything that happened, maybe that past year. And maybe that year sucked. Yeah. Maybe you lost somebody, or have health issues. There's, innumerable things that just you reflect on the past year, and you start getting in a funk. And I think, in my opinion, just looking back and just being thankful for what you do have is, for me, very beneficial. Thank you that I have, like I said, a house to live in. Thank you that I have a bed to sleep in at night. Mm-hmm. Thank you that I have clothes to wear. That I have a family that I spent Christmas with. Just, I don't know, just stuff like that. I think that's what all of that pre-holiday anxiety and everything, a lot of it's just kind of crap that builds up, that we build up on our own. And I think just being thankful for what you have is the important thing.
Yeah. Well, the other day somebody said, like, I'm ready for 2024, 2023, good riddance. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, 2023, it wasn't a very good year. And then I was thinking about it the other night and I was like, you know what? It was a really difficult year in so many ways, but in so many ways, it was such a blessing because things got simpler and there were things that slowed down and there was quality time spent and there was more happiness. And it's really easy to look back your year and think of like all the bad things. But like Christopher said, going, oh my gosh, let's count our blessings. Let's look at the things that we have to be grateful for. And it's you're smirking over there.
when you when you spend the first 6 months of the year stuck in a recliner in the living room, you got a lot of time for quality time with your family.
Yeah.
but yeah, like you were saying though, as much as you look back and you're like, okay, you can look back and be like, that sucked, right? Yeah. 6 months we're dealing with 6 months of the year I was dealing with this injury, this pain. Well, it was actually 7 months, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, and I can look back and go, man, that sucked. Or I can look back and be like, I did get to spend more time just kind of sitting here hanging out with the family. Guess what? I was able to have, I was able to get treatment, and now I can walk around. So as much as we like to look at the crap, it's good to kind of also like what good came of it.
Well, and you can look at it and like how much growth was there in that time, because it's their growing pains, well, and you don't grow when things are easy. You grow when things are hard. And I think that we have grown a lot this year.
It reminds me of the movie Inside Out, when they're if you've seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, it's a good movie. And it just reminds me when Joy is looking into the ball, and she's remembering the good times that came from these ice skating. It was a hockey game and everything, but then sadness kind of was able to, I don't know how to describe it. Sadness was able to reflect her portion of that, and we're like, oh, this sad moment actually came before the moment of joy. Like these two memories that were separate actually were from the same moment. They came from the same time. So yeah, you look back and you're like, oh, this was bad, but like you said, that we grew from it or whatever. And yeah, there was something positive that came out of it. And I'd say most of the time when you're in that funk, you don't realize that something good can come out of it. And then you look back and you go, yeah, I actually grew then.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, and it's hard, and people go through these holiday blues for more reasons than just because of the holiday. It could be, they lost a family member or a parent or a friend, and it's their first Christmas without that person, and they're grieving still and they're sad. Or it could be that they're not in a situation where they're with their family, and so that brings up a lot of hurt and pain. I mean, so we're not trying to not address these other reasons, because there's numerous reasons why people get the blues. We're just kind of touching on our personal experiences, and specifically, this year and how things are going. And it's different for everyone. And I do think that most people experience some sort of, blues, frustration, stress. When you were speaking about being thankful and grateful, people are always like, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, the holidays are just so busy. Well, what if you took that and you looked at it and you were grateful for how busy you are because you're going to all these Christmas parties, or you're working, or you're seeing all of these friends and family, instead of just concentrating on how hectic it is. And if it is, and if you can't look at it and enjoy that, then maybe it's time to kind of reevaluate. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to not attend, one of the Christmas parties for your mental health. If you like, I can't deal with that many people, or it's way too far and I love these people, but I'm not going to do it. You don't have to be there all the time for everyone, and that's okay.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, we just need to learn to be okay saying no.
Yeah. There's great power in that, but there's also, you don't want to, I think some people get too comfortable saying no and they forget how to say yes. So it's a balance. But if you're a yes person, like, try
thinking of Yes Man.
Yeah. Another great movie. Super funny. But that's the thing. It's if you're not enjoying this time of year, reevaluate what's going on and think about maybe why you're not. Are you so stressed out because you're too busy with everything?
Yeah. So, I mean, if we look toward the end of the year, and so we did just take a little break right now talking about stresses and everything. Of course, the kids are home on their winter break, and that's another level of stress. So I'm transitioning to, as we look toward next year, we can look and go, oh man, I've got to make goals for next year. I've got to do this and that, but
you don't have to do a New Year's resolution.
Yeah. Well, goals, right?
Yeah.
So we're not going to get into the making goals, but for me, I'm kind of excited. I have on my thing that I need to make goals for 2024 for the website, for the podcast, and all that stuff. So now I'm going to try and turn that into a positive. Like, okay, cool. Let's get maybe a schedule of podcasts. Let's get a schedule of the YouTube videos, and everything like that. So I'm gonna make that a positive thing instead of a negative stressor.
Yeah. And I'm working on a business plan for 2024, and for some reason I am struggling to do that, and it is a negative for me right now. Mm-hmm. Just because I think part of it is it's the holidays and I just want to cuddle up and watch Christmas movies and do nothing. But I have, boring. Yeah, and that just sounds lovely to me. It really does. That's the mood I'm in. But I know that if I can get this business plan done before the end of the year, that I'm going to feel so much better going into 2024. And I need to kind of take a page out of your book, Christopher, and, turn it into something that I'm not dreading doing, turning it into something that I'm looking forward to doing. So
maybe put on your to-do list, make a list for, do your business plan for 2024. So that way you can do it, check it off of your list, and like that's an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
So that's why I have on my board over here 2024 goals.
We've talked about list making and how I'm a list maker and I love checking things off. So I do want to circle back. We were talking a little bit about when to cut things out for the holidays and just knowing that it is okay to say no, and what a stress that can be trying to be there for everyone and do all the things right. And I just want to encourage, you, if you're listening and that's you, remember what the season's about. Remember why we celebrate, and take a moment and do something for yourself that's going to make you happy. For me, like I just said, I love sitting down at night with my family, watching a Christmas movie, cuddled up on the couch with a soft blanket. And that brings me a lot of Christmas joy. It's simple, it's easy, but it kind of it just really I look forward to doing it every year. And so think about something that you can do for yourself where you can take that time to enjoy this and you don't just look at it as a big pain in the neck that you have, this time of year.
And be okay doing something for yourself.
Yeah.
Tell yourself, like, I'm going to do this for me.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
It's not being selfish in any way, shape, or form. You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. And I mean, why should your kids have all the fun, right? You guys gonna need to have fun too during Christmas.
Well, but then you're more pleasant to be around.
Yeah.
you're your kids enjoy you more when you've taken the time to do something for yourself.
Absolutely.
So.
And yeah, just I don't know.
So
it's just one of those things that it's so important, and we've seen how it's really helped us to kind of simplify and focus on Christmas, not just all the other garbage that comes with it. And I don't know if that's you. I encourage you to do the same.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. If you're on the Spotify app, go ahead, please, if you wouldn't mind, and answering the poll questions and the questions that we put out there. You can also go to thefightwithdepression.com and you can go to the contact page, get a hold of us that way. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere listening, I would really love to know how you guys like the summer Christmas. Yes, Molly.
I'm going to throw this out. Here's a curveball. I want to know, like you were saying, people in the Southern Hemisphere, what's one thing that you love every Christmas? What's something that you do, a tradition that you love, that makes you happy, that brings you joy? Because it's different all over the world. Yeah. And I'm going to ask Christopher this. Christopher, just give me one thing that is around Christmas that you look forward to or that you really enjoy doing every year.
For me, it's a dumb answer, but it's watching the kids open their gifts.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think that's for me, the best thing is just watching them open their gifts, because they just get so, they're getting older, but it brings them back to, even our oldest is like, she's just a child. It's that childlike joy that is, and watching them come down the stairs. I think Christmas morning. So that's for me. And, like Molly said, we're in Colorado, so we want a white Christmas. We want snow on Christmas. Maybe other people don't want that, or wherever you are, I guess. It doesn't have to be the Southern Hemisphere. If whatever country you're listening to, because we've got listeners all over. So thank you. Let us know what traditions or, I don't know.
Yeah, what traditions? Cool. What things you enjoy? What's something that maybe is unique to where you live or to your family or whatever it is?
Yeah. And so thank you for listening. And wherever, if you guys wouldn't mind going on to your Spotify, Apple, whatever, rating the show, leaving comments, all that good stuff. We would very much appreciate it. And let us know what other topics. We've had some requests that we're going to be addressing. So thank you for those requests, and keep them coming. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And until next time, God bless.